It was meant to be a low-key Friday night. Wine, soothing music, a little garden light. I'd strung the lights myself 2 weekends ago, placed them just right, even set the patio furniture perfectly. Lowe's slung chairs, a few blankets, thrown over for warmth, citronella candles arranged like silent guardians against the bugs. Evenings like these were nice, and I liked watching Leanna in them, calm, away from the buzz of meetings and deadlines. I used to feel like I was stepping into her laughter when it was real, not the practiced kind she wore around clients. She had brought her co-workers over, the other Jules, Juliet, and Sandarine. I'd prepared. Delea, Carla, Mina, even Jules. I knew them. We'd shared playlists, laughed at Christmas parties, together. So when I stepped into the yard, bottle of Pinot in hand, sleeves rolled up, it felt like a familiar beat. I was just the husband, stopping by to greet, refill glasses, maybe tell a story if asked. Nothing more, nothing less. They had already gone through half the bottle. The table was littered with crackers, cheese, olives, the kind Leanna only bought when she was trying to impress. They smiled when I sat down, nodded. Leanna poured herself another glass, without offering, without a thank you. That was our rhythm, too. Then it began. Delea asked about Leanna's big quarterly win at work. I was ready, proud of her. She'd landed a major fintech account, but Leanna jumped in before I could say a word. "You should have seen the pitch," she said, swirling her glass. "Exactly how you're supposed to do it." They toasted, laughed. She leaned back, tilted her head, and smiled at me, unlike anyone else I know. Then she laughed, her voice rising in pitch, turning sharp. "Oh, come on, Jules," she said, glancing at her co-worker. "Remember your pharma pitch last year?" Then she mimicked me. "Oh my gosh, he was so scared. He started pacing, like a caged squirrel." They laughed. I laughed too, softly, more from habit than anything else. But my stomach was already in knots. She continued. "He tripped over the HDMI cord and almost shut down the entire system. Asked the client twice if they wanted water. This time, Delea covered her mouth and howled. Mina laughed so hard, she had to pause. Then Leanna looked right at me, eyes glinting, glass halfway to her lips. "Ladies," she said, "this is why I handle the real money." They laughed again, she smirked. But it didn't reach her eyes, and I just sat there, heart thudding, trying to keep my face still. I wasn't ashamed of that pitch anymore. I had learned from it. We had talked about it. I told her how disappointed I was in myself, how small I had felt because I had shown her something real, and she had used it against me. I waited silently for her to change direction, to say something softer. Maybe look at me and remember who I was. But she didn't. She just topped off her glass. Their conversation drifted. Plans for vacations. Giggling about who never knows where to go unless there's a group, another jab, another sneer. My fingers curled around the stem of my untouched glass. The wine inside was deep red, catching the candlelight like blood beneath glass. I stood. At first, they barely noticed. Leanna glanced up mid-sentence. I walked past the garden lights, the ones I'd hung, past the uneven stone patio I had laid down for a polished look. I opened the side gate, stepped onto the quiet street. The keys buzzed in my pocket, but I didn't touch them. I didn't slam the door, didn't raise my voice. Silence was more my style. I walked 3 blocks before I even realized I didn't have a plan. I wasn't trying to punish her, wasn't storming off for drama. I was just done being the joke, done being expected to swallow it. The neighborhood was quiet, one of those silences that forces you to listen to your own thoughts. A dog barked in the distance. Porch lights glowed like tiny beacons. Eventually, I sat. Low brick wall. Near the E, Elementary school. A sprinkler hissed to life nearby, and something in me cracked. She hadn't looked at me with love, not even with familiarity, just amusement. For years, I tried to be steady, so she could build her business. I gave her credit. I lifted her up. And in return, I became the punchline. Maybe she thought I'd come back before the candles burned out. Maybe she saved me. A piece of goat cheese and fig, her girl's night favorite. But the truth? I left with no plans to return. Not that night. Maybe never. The last message I saw before turning off my phone said, "Funny. That's what you said when you dropped the remote." She said that when I forgot almond milk. She said it when I told her something real. She never saw me. Not really, and that night, I finally saw her, not my wife. Just a woman who thought I was a disposable ornament for her little parties. So I sat there. Let the night breeze cool my skin. And for the first time in a long time, I didn't feel like a sidekick. In my own life. The next morning, the phone lit up like the sun through the hotel's sheer curtains. A motel, really. Mid-tier, bland art, clean sheets. Perfect. No memories, no expectations. Leanna's name flashed on the screen. Her contact photo still smiling, like nothing had changed. I let it ring, then finally picked up. "Hello?" "Morning, Jules," she said, sugary, like honey hiding vinegar. "So, are you done sulking?" Sulking? I stared out the window. Down below, a man struggled to buckle a toddler into a car seat. At least their chaos made sense. Mine didn't. She tried again. "That was just girl banter. I didn't think you'd actually notice." That professional tone she used in meetings. I laughed, bitterly. "You didn't think I'd be sensitive?" It was dumb. Everyone laughed. It wasn't that deep. That shrug, her armor. My pain had never been deep enough for her to acknowledge. "I need to speak to you," I said. "As a man to a woman, not as your joke." She paused. Then came the entitlement. "Oh, come on," she said. "You really left over that?" "You did." I let the silence do the talking this time. Let her feel what it was like when I didn't swallow it down. She shifted gears again. Okay. How about this? I'll make a reservation at that restaurant. Come home. We'll get brunch. Laugh. Like nothing happened. But something did happen. My dignity was trampled over our patio